Where were we? We were on chapter 9, I believe, if I'm deciphering this correctly. The House of the Three Bears. Yep, chapter 9. And I'm going to start at the beginning of the chapter, perhaps, and we're going to reach a section about 2 pages in that has a classic racially insensitive caricature as a character. Isn't that fun? Damn it, my PR team told me not to refer to anything in this discussion as fun, but I already fucked up. Okay, I feel like I've been debating since last week, because I, got to that section and I paused, because I knew I have to say something about it, but I actually wasn't even sure if it would come up in this book. And I was almost getting comfortable. I was like, okay, I don't think there's going to be anything like that in this book. Let's have fun with the magical faraway tree. And then 2 pages into chapter 9, it fucking hit me out of nowhere. And I wasn't ready. And some people in chat, some fucking people laughed at me. They were like, oh my god, fucking liberals, man. I don't know, probably. But I'm actually very glad that I paused and knew that I had to do my due diligence, and I do think it's important. And some people won't take it seriously. Some people also were giving helpful suggestions, put a warning on the screen. I actually don't think, I'm hoping anyways, that this won't be enough to actually have a content warning on this. But it's actually brought me to some very interesting thoughts and knowledge. I don't know. I read a very interesting article about it, and I feel confident and ready to talk about it and read it as it's written, hopefully. And so I do want to warn people that maybe I should have warned first. I was going to do a verbal warning. I already put it in my going live posts. I was thinking of having a warning while we're actually talking about the term. But when I'm reading the book, I'm hoping it's harmless enough. Oh my god, I got a lawyer in my ear right now, shut up. Whatever. And you might be thinking, OMG, girl, chill. It's not that big of a deal. Well, I just want people who maybe don't want to be aggravated by it to, be able to opt out of the conversation. Excuse me for caring about people's feelings. Some people just come to Twitch to relax, and they don't want to think about fucking white fragility, okay? Oh. Also gotta remember to cue. And so, I am glad that I took the time, and I also literally am doing this on the fly. I don't actually really have a well thought out plan, but I'm prepared. It's all of you that are the wild cards. Shit, I was gonna put a warning on the screen before I started talking about it. I just had to, get it out, And now I can't, I don't know if I should get, I don't know if I should do like my spiel before we start reading or when we come to the character. I don't know. Pushy, chat. You're so pushy. Can we skip to the offensive part? That's actually what I'm resisting doing. Hold on. Speak now or forever hold you... Just kidding. I think I am going to just start reading. Everyone's just telling me to start reading. So let's go. I lost the page. Chapter... Did I take the bookmark out? I always do that to myself. Oh no, it's right here. No, but I think it's exactly that kind of crass and careless attitude that I don't tolerate. I don't know. Fuck it. The House of the Three Bears. Bessie took a cushion and put it at the top of the slide and pushed off. Down she went, whiz. She shot to the bottom, flew out of the trap door, and landed on the cushion of moss. She had hardly got up before Fanny flew out of the trap door, too. You know, that slippery slip is the greatest fun, said Bessie. I'd like to do that all day long. I'm holding this 80-year-old literature to today's standards, and I'm triggered. See, that's a caricature you have in your mind. Some people care about words and their meanings and fucking, aren't necessarily even triggered by them, but are actually thoughtful people. And don't think that just ignoring this shit makes it go away. Or laughing at it. Alright, now I'm triggered. Damn it, he's good. That slippery slip is the greatest fun, said Bessie. I'd like to do that all day long. Yes, if only we didn't have to climb all the way up to the top of the tree first, said Fanny. The trapdoor flew open and out shot Moonface on a yellow cushion. He put the three cushions together and whistled to the red... Oh, yeah, Joe is trapped in the snowland at the top of the tree, by the way. Joe got fucking abducted by polar bears. And we all thought the polar bears were going to eat him. But then it turns out that it's actually an abominable snowman. Who's... an abomination. He's very rude, and he's trying to make Joe like his like pet. Abominable snowman. What the fuck? You just blew my mind. Not to be confused with the abdominal snowman who has a six-pack. He put the three cushions together and whistled to the red squirrel who looked after them and threw them to him. Then he turned to the waiting girls. I have to burp. There's a train at midnight, he said. We shall have to hurry. The wood was still bright with moonlight. The three of them hurried between the trees. Suddenly, Bessie heard the chuffing of a train, and she and Fanny stopped in surprise. They saw a small train winding in and out of the trees, looking for all the world like a clockwork train made big. The engine even had a key still in its side. There was a small station near. Moonface caught hold of the girl's hands and ran to it. Moonface caught hold of the girl's hands and ran to it. The train was standing quite still there. The carriages had tin doors and windows which didn't open, just like those of a clockwork train. Bessie tried her hardest to open a door, but it was no use. The train whistled. It was anxious to be off. Don't you know how to get into this train? Asked Moonface with a laugh. You are sillies. You just slide the roof off. As he spoke, he pushed at the roof, and it slid off like the roof of a clockwork train's carriage. I believe this is just a clockwork train made big, said Fanny, climbing over the side of the carriage and getting in at the roof. I never saw such a funny train in my life. They all got in. Moonface couldn't seem to slide the roof on again properly, so he stood inside the carriage, and when the train went off, Bessie and Fanny, who couldn't possibly see out of the tin windows, stood up and looked out of the roof instead. They did look funny. Oh, God, okay. Life, man. At the next station, which was called Gollywog Station, 3 gollywogs got onto their carriage and stared at them very hard. One was so like Bessie's own golly at home that she couldn't help staring back. If you're from Europe, you know! Or Australia, that a gollywog is I actually don't know if I need a, content warning, actually. It sounds so wrong when I say it out loud now. Beloved children's character. Racial caricature. It's a character of a caricature. Jesus, help me. Warning, white girl talking about racism. For all concerned. Poliwag is the Pokemon. Bruh, even European slurs sound silly as hell. No, it's only through the pure willpower of concentrated racism that Gollywog has become a little-known slur, almost on par with the N-word. I'm gonna be fucking real with you guys. Not today. Not today. Not today. But it literally, it's actually impressive that a word so silly is actually, at one time, and even in some circles to this day, considered as bad as the N-word with a hard R. And I read a very interesting article about it, and I learned things that I didn't even know. Because actually, all I knew was shit. All I knew is... Actually, now I kind of have, the curse of knowledge, where, I know too much now. I don't even know if I feel comfortable. I thought I was gonna handle this well, but most of you have never heard it, and I'm sorry if I'm teaching you a new slur. That was another thing I was concerned about. Is I'm like, oh my god, tensions are so high. The world sucks so much. I don't need to reintroduce it to memes. Some fucking outdated term. But I also think it's okay to face uncomfortable history. I don't think you're racist, dude. And I'm trying to think of how to handle this in a way that is sensitive to both liberal and conservative snowflakes. And also not have it drag on too long. But it's actually kind of not an okay word to say. But I also think that covering it up is even worse. And you know what's funny? Sometimes they try to fix old books. Fix them. And literally, people have tried replacing gollywogs with monkeys, which I think is, questionable. And there's not really a good thing to do about it. I actually have a lot to say about this. It is, okay, so let me explain what it is. It is like I said, it's a character of a caricature. What are they called? Blackface. It is a caricature of blackface minstrels. And they're worth a lot of money these days because blood for the blood god. People are very sentimentally attached to them. And most people, some people, like, I guess if you're in, like, Europe, I have so much to say about this. I want to write. I can't handle all of the conflicting opinions in chat. It's literally just a doll based on blackface, which lots of people are very polarized about because, or those little black dolls, you know, that like in America you probably know them as like the like Mammy, like those like cookie jars, and like that's very close to a golly, but it's different. It's kind of like a cartoon character, and you know, people were very like fond of them in their childhood. I also grew up with them in my childhood, which is crazy because I feel like a freaking Victorian child or something. And it was outdated even for my generation, so it's an interesting perspective to have on it, I think, because most people don't even know what it is, especially in America, but I always found them quite charming when I was a child. In Victorian England. Had one myself. No, I'm kidding. But I read books with the main, like, literally the main character. And also, in my research, I found out Enid Blyton is way more racist than I feared. Don't get off topic. Don't Google things right now. I think I have a very interesting perspective that people should listen to. Because it's emblematic of the culture wars. It's emblematic of literally everything people talk about, and it has already happened. Aunt Jemima, the syrup bottle, the pancakes, all of this happened before with the golly. And Damn, the article I read was really interesting. Because it gave me exactly the answers to the questions I had in my mind. It's very emblematic of the culture wars of our time, where some people are asking for sensitivity about it, and some people are saying it's not that offensive, and some people are saying it is offensive, but like it can be can we be sensitive about it? And it is offensive, and it's also understandable why people think it's not. And fuck you if you think it isn't, honestly. We can't all just wish things to be what they're not. I will link the article I read because I would like for you guys to read it because I don't think I'm doing a very good job. I thought I would do better than this, but I'm a fidgeter. I want to find the exact article I read. It's not Wikipedia. I think it was the Jim Crow Museum. Yes, it is. All right, the Jim Crow Museum's page. I would like you all to fucking read that one. Don't read fucking Wikipedia. Don't read some fucking opinion think piece. Don't throw stones in glass houses, you motherfuckers. There we go. There's a link in the chat. Open it, save it for later, read it, because I'm just trying to summarize it, but there's shit in there that, like, opened my eyes. And that's why I hesitated to talk about it last week, because I knew I wasn't informed. And some people laughed at me. Do you know how infuriating it is to be right all the time, you guys, and have people post fucking lol in the chat because they think you're, like, that I'm stupid or something? I knew I wasn't informed, and I'm actually glad that I have the presence of mind to fucking be patient and to not just do something because I think I can be right about it. And I was right about it, but you know what I did? I fucking double checked, alright? And there's some people who would see a website named like jimcrowmuseum.ferris.ed and think that that's a biased source. And you know what? I'm not gonna make a straw man though. I'm just saying I try to think of all sides of an argument, and it's very frustrating. Because I get treated on both sides. I have people who think like I'm about to cry, or I have people who think I don't know. It's both ways of being treated about it that piss me off. Like, I have people laughing about it, and then I have people, like, trying to, like, comfort me, you know? They're like, oh my god, I didn't know this was so upsetting to you. And then other people are like, lol, why are you upset? And I'm like, I'm not, dude. I think it's important. And you guys might not be used to fucking sincerity and, what's the word? You guys aren't used to, like, sincere seriousness. Earnesty. Call me Ernest. Because I really understand. I'm empathetic. I don't think it's something to laugh at. I also don't think it's something to, like, cry about. Although, I mean, you know, if you want to have, like, a therapy session about it, yeah, sure, cry. I felt bad. I was reading that article, and I was like, I didn't know how bad it was. I'm Larold the Earnest. That's how I earned my name. Ernest to God. Humor is a coping mechanism that is very effective. So anyways, I got informed, and I actually think it opened my eyes. I thought I was like the enlightened centrist already, and it opened my eyes. I knew it was bad, but I didn't know it was that bad, and I also knew like some people are really defensive about it. And some people have literally never even heard of this term and don't even know why it's a big deal or, like, what the hell I'm going on about. Or, like, they're like, oh my god, just get it over with already. But if you read that link I posted, you will, like, if you read the whole thing, you'll fucking understand. Like, I actually kind of regret reading it because it made me, like, But then again, I don't regret reading it because I really needed to talk about this the right way. But now that I've read it, I literally feel even more... Now, I didn't know I'd feel this uncomfortable while I was actually talking about it. Yeah. Some gollywogs are not like... Okay, they're all racist. That's how I want to put this. They're all racist. They're literally based on, like, blackface and dressing and the exaggerated characteristics of caricatures. They're all racist, but a lot of white people and black people grew up thinking there was nothing wrong with them. And it actually can be upsetting to find out that there's something wrong with them, like for me. I didn't even know what I thought that they were. I remember asking my mom what one was when I was like little, and she explained it in a way that I don't know, they just made me think of like soot sprites. Oh my god, I'm ruining soot sprites. She gave me like she didn't give me like a real answer. And so I always grew up thinking of them as like I didn't think they were like black people. I didn't think there was anything. I thought they were like a mythical creature, which is what's actually so racist about it, okay? It's the normalization of this caricature. I keep saying caricature, but that's what's so insidious about it, where they're like, haha, it's so cute, it's so funny. And if it were only that, I wouldn't be freaking out about it. Yeah, it's like the Prime Minister of Canada. We have fun here. And it's actually very interesting. The very first appearance of one it wasn't that bad, except for the fact that it was a character based on a racist character. They were actually kind of cute, you know? Like, or there's so many instances where a gollywog is a cute, lovely thing. The story specifically that I read was called Amelia... Fuck. I just looked it up earlier because I was like, where the fuck did I see this and think that it was okay? Because, no, there's other stories that are incredibly racist. It became so much bigger than that. The memification. You guys, if you're brain rotted online, you know what it was memified. It is a virus of racism. And there were some instances where it was not so offensive. And then other variations of the meme are so offensive that even now I feel uncomfortable saying this word that I grew up with belovedly in my childhood, and now I'm ashamed. Like, that's how intense the racism was. It's, where I probably could, but you know what? Donald Trump is president. I'm not gonna be canceled over it. I think I might just lose some people's respect if I deal with it wrong. I remember the questioning if Sour Patch Kids were based on gollywogs. I think they could be. That's actually not too far-fetched, but I digress. We're not. And like I said, it's very emblematic of the culture wars, and like I think it was a very interesting article to read, and also to have not only to read that article, but for me to have the connection to it that I do, growing up as a what's that? Yes. No, I'm not ending my stream. Okay. To grow up as a racist little white girl, I had a very special connection to this thing, imagery, and character. And I did not know. It was Amelia Jane. Amelia Jane by Enid Blyton, where a heroic gollywog is one of like the best characters in the whole freaking toy box. Not Amelia Bedelia. Amelia Jane is basically like Toy Story. And it's also a book by Enid Blyton. And you know what else Enid Blyton also wrote? Really racist books that I can't even repeat that were basically like the gollywogs were like singing 3 Little N-Words. You know that song? Or 10 or what's the one where the little black children get killed off one by one until the end of the song and then everyone falls down laughing? Yeah. That's Enid Blyton. Like, there's literally books that she wrote that have that, like the word, not just gollywog, but, like, that's why it became synonymous with the N-word. Yeah, exactly. Eeny, meeny, miny, mo. Oh my god. See, this is why I thought I needed a warning, and, but I'm tired of people thinking that I'm just up in my feelings about it. If someone didn't want to have their fucking day ruined, I wanted to be considerate about that, because, like, I think it's rude to just, like, bring up fucking hardcore slurs without a little bit of a heads up. And I don't think I'm terrible for that, okay? And I don't think I'm great for that either. Here's someone talking. Okay. Sounded like an argument. I've actually, okay, now, alright, I'm all passionate now. I think I did a good job, and I'm gonna keep going. Also, I kind of have to pee. Alright, any questions? I think it's ridiculous to feel guilty for your past like that. I don't feel guilty. I feel not ignorant. I don't feel guilty at all. I think I'm having a perfectly empathetic and thoughtful response. Mm-hmm. Oh, and so, the last part I wanted to say, which if you read the article that I linked, you will read about this. They've started replacing gollywogs in books with monkeys. And you could say that that caricature would have a lot of characteristics that would actually be easily replaced with a monkey, which is up for debate as problematic. And in fucking Amelia Jane, actually, oh wait, that's not even in the article. I found this out because I actually was Googling what book I saw a golly in the first time. And I was like, why did I think this was okay? Like, even as I got older, I've started to, like, learn things, and I would start to realize certain beliefs were problematic. But even which I think this is a very mainstream white English conservative view, is that there was nothing wrong with gollywogs, especially if you didn't see how bad some of the racism around them was. If you only got certain perspectives on it, you would say, why is it so offensive? Why do you even, like, why are we making such a big deal about it? Why are we trying to ban it? Oh my god. And they think there's nothing wrong, and they say, like, don't tread on me mentality. Which is ironic. But anyways, what was I gonna say? Fuck, I forgot. Oh, they replace, I'm upset because they replaced the gollywog in Amelia Jane with some guy named Action Man. Which is way better than a monkey, but also it was I don't know, man. Who knows? Nobody can tell us what the right things to do are. Yeah, Action Man, because they're all like, it's like Toy Story. Oh, they should have replaced him with Buzz Lightyear, because that would actually work.